Let's go to the phone where Commissioner Orji Uchenna, Commissioner for Information for Ebonyi, is waiting to speak to us. You heard from Tochukwu that it seems that it is the governor who actually did the hatchet job and not the judiciary, where he also masterminded proceedings to his own case and was using that as brevity to be able to usurp justice. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you very much. I've listened to my colleague, Mr. Tochukwu, and I want to say that I've got no need to join issues with issues of motives, sentimental issues that he raised. He has not addressed any point of law. Even when you ask the issue of the judgment of Zamfara, he also did not address the issue, so I'm not going to join issues with him, because I've not seen a substance that he did raise. Now, having said that, now the issue of obedience to the rule of law, which you did mention, I can tell you that the state government, and indeed our governor, is known for obedience for the rule of law. But the crux of the matter is that a court of competent jurisdiction that has coordinate jurisdiction or powers with the Federal High Court did give a judgment in the same matter, the same subject. What is the subject? The subject matter is whether or not defection can avail a court the powers to declare that the governor or deputy should vacate office. And the court said no, that defection has got no offense under the Constitution. And they came by originating someone, that is, to interpret the construction of the external laws and the Constitution. And that was what the judge did. And now, coupled with the Federal High Court judgment in Zamfara, now, given what happened yesterday in what I call equal judgment, like the Ebo judgment, the governor said, we have a substituting judgment on this. And so I'm going to obey that judgment. I cannot obey this judgment that is inconsistent with the judgment of a court of coordinate jurisdiction on the same matter, the same subject matter. And that is the issue. However, we are going to study in details the judgment so that for the sake of posterity, we will put the record straight. And that is to say, we will be going an appeal. But that does not in any way mean that the governor has vacated office or shall vacate office. Because even the rule of the court, Federal High Court, says that he has within 90 days. That is to say, he has the powers under the Constitution to exercise his appellant rights, even up to the Supreme Court. Then, having said that, let me mention that legal luminaries have even joined forces to say that the judge, learned judge of the Federal High Court, Eko, Inyang, erred in law, for not relying on any provision of the Constitution, for not relying on any provision of the Electoral Act. By the way, there is no provision in the Electoral Act from Section 1 to Section 153 that has got anything to do with the governor after he has been sworn in. It is only the Constitution of Nigeria in Section 143 and Section 144. And there are only three conditions for the removal of a governor or deputy under the Constitution. One is on account of death, one is on account of resignation, and one is on account of impeachment by the legislature, as contained in 143, 144. Nothing more, nothing less. And so, going to raise issues of pre-election matter or election matter in the case of Amechi and INEC, the mayor case. The Supreme Court, even in the case of AG Federation and two others, and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and three others, reported in 2007, has really settled the matter that you cannot, for any reason of defection, remove or sack a vice president, and that is applicable to president, applicable to governor and deputy governor. And even in that same case, they said that it is against the fundamental right of freedom of association of the governor, deputy governor, president, or vice president. I know the issue of freedom of association is fundamental. Is the supreme provision that cannot be violated by anybody whatsoever. And so that is what we should be addressing. And let me assure you that the people of Ebonyi State are in full support of the governor. What you saw on the first page of front page of some newspaper is the rented crowd. You're going to see the movement of Ebonyi people in this regard. But we aren't people that are not law-abiding, but we must express our feelings over all of these aberrations. Even luminaries like Oyekeme, Zekeme said that this is a legal aberration. That unless the man doesn't want it to be tested, that it cannot survive the furnace, the test of the appellate courts. And that is the position of the law.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, sir, we understand that, you have issues with the judgment, which it is also your right, and you also have the right of appeal to even up to the Supreme Court. But I've listened to lawyers who argue that if a judgment is given by any judge, irrespective of who the judge is or whether it is in your favor or not, that the first thing you should do is to obey the law first, and then you can go on appeal. This is on the law angle, and I'm asking you because you are also a lawyer. So, to obey the rule of law, are you not expected to obey that law first before you go on appeal? That is one. Then, quoting the judge did say that the votes in any election in Nigeria are to political parties and not the candidates. You are also a politician. So, from that angle too, if the governor stood for election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, only to dump the party on whose platform it rose to power, he rose to power, and on whose mandate and even manifesto he promised the people development, and then goes to another party with a different manifesto entirely. What does that say about the person of the governor and, of course, the activities he has been carrying out in the state since the defection?
Thank you very much. Let me say that if there are two subsisting judgments by the same court, that is court of coordinate jurisdiction, on the same issue, the same decision, or rather different decisions on the same issue. Now, which one will you obey? That will be my question to you. And you must obey one at the same time. So I want you to answer that question. We have chosen to obey the one that we know that complies with the decision of the Supreme Court, the one that we know that has complied with the most recent decision of the Federal High Court. And so we cannot obey two judgments at the same time. So if you want us to obey two judgments, tell us how we can do that. That is by the way. Now, on this issue of defection, the rule of law means the rule of the pronouncement of court of competent jurisdiction that is based on the provisions of the law and constitution. That is what rule of law is all about. And now, the constitution has said that we have not seen anything wrong in defection. Defection means to move from one party to the other. Now, the reason is that it does offend the most supreme and the most sacrosanct provision of the Constitution, and that is the issue of fundamental human rights. That is the jurisprudence of it. And so, if the Constitution or the law, as it were, has not, made defection a crime or a breach of the rule, then why will you go to invoke that? Oh. And so, the issue of manifesto, and let me tell you one thing, under a presidential system of government, the president, the governor, is responsible for the actions of government. And so you may decide to work with a manifesto that you think at the material time that will work in the interest of your people. Because if you don't do well, you'll be blamed. If you do well, you will be praised. And so the chief executives under the presidential system of government, are entitled to do those things that will bring about development, bring about progress in their place. So manifesto or no manifesto cannot be the issue.
Okay, let me quickly ask you this. Sorry, Adora. Let me quickly ask you this before we come back to the studio. If this judgment of Inyang Ekwo was to be in your favor, would you have obeyed it?
Yeah, if it was in our favor, would have been a confirmation of the decision of his brother judge. Don't forget the judge of the State High Court that gave judgment is a senior. A senior, much more a senior to him. And the powers of the State High Court is the same thing with the powers of the Federal High Court in respect of this issue. And so we have chosen to obey that of the State High Court, who himself, the judge himself, is even much more senior in bench than Ebo. And don't forget, we have heard a lot of interim injunctions by this Ebo. I just hope that it will not eventually be like Ebo kind of a situation. It is really unfortunate. And you can see that people are criticizing the judgment. That is an aberration. Like there's no contention with the provisions of the law and the Constitution as it were. Thank you very much. I still would not want to address issues of sentiment, issues of motives. I've got no business with the law. Whatever the Constitution does not provide does not exist. And in the case of the removal or sack of the governor, there are only three conditions. And let me say that the case of Atiku and federal government, that is AG of the Federation, is pari material. What applies to the vice president applies to the president, applies to the governor and deputy governor under the Constitution. I don't know what my learned colleagues are saying there. Again, the issue of parties' rights to choose a candidate. And I have mentioned that the council is talking about pre-election election matters. And that is not the issue for determination. The issue for determination is defection. And this defection is applicable in the case of Ebonyi, it's applicable in the case of Zamfara. There is no differentiation, there is no distinction at all. You know that. Now, having said that, we are saying that the Constitution does recognize that there is no any other thing that can remove a governor other than three things, and defection is not one of them. Now, he mentioned the issue of the APC, the person that came second in the 2019 election in Ebonyi that sued Abia governor. It is as of right. What is very important for a condition precedent for you to sue is local standard. And so the man has the locus under the Constitution, having come second, to even see whether he can be, giving judgment. And that he has exercised. And somebody is faulting it with sentiment. Motive is immaterial. If you like, you can go, to say a lot of things that have got nothing to do with the law. All right. I can tell you that not even the devil knows the intent of man. So you can't go into the voyage of knowing what is inside.
Honorable Commissioner, I'm sorry, we have to just cut in here. We are definitely running out of time. I'm sure this is an ongoing conversation. We want to say thank you to the gentlemen that have joined us this morning. Honorable Commissioner Orji Uchenna Orji has joined us via phone. He is the Commissioner on Information for Ebonyi State. We take a moment now to take some commercial break, and when we return, we'll be introducing our second conversation for today. To stay with us.